who owns Kenya. Now, UAP Holdings Limited is a leading insurance and financial services company, which by December last year had a total asset base of 12.4 billion shillings. Although the history of the parent company dates back some 80 years, the present company was formed in 1994 following the merger of union and provincial insurance companies, as well as that of their parent companies, UAP of France and Provincial of UK. UAP is today one of the largest players in the provision of insurance and financial services, with a network and footprint across the East African region. Though headquartered in Kenya, UAP is the second largest insurance company in Uganda and was the first foreign company to provide insurance and financial services in southern Sudan. Under UAP Holdings Limited, there are several subsidiary companies, which include, let's take a look at the list, UAP Insurance Kenya Limited, UAP Uganda, UAP Sudan, UAP Financial Services Limited, Made in Africa Investment Bank East Africa Limited, UAP Life Assurance Company Limited as well. Now, building on this success, UAP Group now plans to expand even further in the region to cover DRC Congo, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Burundi as well. Now, such an expansion program costs a significant amount of money. To finance the expansion, UAP Holdings decided the best way to raise external funds from private equity investors. And so in June this year, the company announced that it had raised 4.7 billion shillings from 3 international private equity firms. And these 3 firms are Aureus Africa Fund, there we have it, Afric Invest Fund, and Swede Fund International AB. Now, the deal essentially brought on board new international investors and shareholders in UAP Holdings. The group also plans to use a significant part of the new funds to aggressively invest in the real estate business, an area that's extremely lucrative at the moment. However, even with the entry of international players in UAP, the principal shareholders in the company remain local, with 2 seasoned investors, Joe Wanjui and Chris Kirubi, having the largest chunks of shareholding in the UAP group. Besides holding shares in UAP Group in their individual capacities, Joe Wanjui and Chris Kirubi also happen to have considerable shareholding in 2 companies that are themselves top shareholders in UAP Group. The Joe Wanjui family owns Bawan Limited, while Chris Kirubi is a shareholder in Centum Investments Limited. The 2 companies, Bawan and Centum, are at the apex of UAP shareholding, at the apex of its structure. Now, its group has 21 individual investors and 4 institutional investors, bringing the total number of shareholders to just 25. Let's take a look at the top 10 shareholders as of December last year in this company, which has an asset base, as we said earlier, of 12.4 billion Kenya shillings. So at number 10, we have Joseph Kiplagat Leseu. I hope I've said that correctly. And he is the former mayor of Eldoret, and he's a large-scale farmer. He holds 0.78%, which is worth 96.72 million shillings. At number 9, let's take a look. Kikagi Limited is a local company which was registered in 1978 with 0.88% shareholding, worth 109.1 million shillings. At number 7, TM Owen Burke. Sayani Investments at number 8, and they have 124 million shillings worth of shareholding. Sayani hold 1% in UAP, and we come to number 7, and number 7 is TM Owen Burke with 141.3 million shillings worth of shares, and that represents 1.14% of the shareholding. At number 6, let's take a look. ASG Smith, 183.5 million shillings worth of shares, and that is 1.48% shareholding in the company. At number 5, we have WK Martin, 360.8 million shillings worth of shares, which is 2.91% of the shareholding in the company. And we move on to number 4, where we have J.N. Mugui, and that's coming up. Yes, 1.3 billion shillings worth of shares. Now, this is the UAP Holdings Group CEO. 10.53% is the shareholding that he has, and again, 1.3 billion shillings is what it's worth. Chris Kirubi is next at number 3. 2.09 billion shillings worth of shares is what he holds. That's 16.88% of shareholding. The well-known leading investor, of course, he has interests also in other listed and unlisted companies as well. Let's go to number 2. And at number 2, we mentioned this company earlier. Centum Investments Limited holds 3 billion shillings worth of shares. This is 24.23% of their shareholding. Now, this is an NSE listed company where Chris Kirubi and the family of the president, Mwai Kibaki, are shareholders directly and indirectly as well. And at number 1, we mentioned this company as well. It's Bowen Limited with 4.4 billion shillings worth of shares. That's 35.84% of shareholding in the company. And this is the investment arm of Dr. Joe Wanjui's family interests. This is their investment arm. 35.84% is what it holds in the company. And we move now to our quote of the week. Let's take a look. And it reads, "Start by doing what is necessary, then what is possible, and before you know it, you'll have done the impossible."